Every man has two lives. And the second one starts when he realizes that he only has one. Think about that. And, in the first life, we would chase a sense of fulfillment every single day. But instead of realizing that we needed to get that fulfillment in the form of sacrifice, we would look for the cheap, the easy, the quick way to get it. And there's a reason that fulfillment never lasted. Because it wasn't fulfillment. It was just cheap, quick dopamine. Now, what do I mean by that? In the first life, we would go and try to get our fulfillment in the form of vices. Whatever that is. Smoking, drinking, porn, alcohol, which I mentioned, drugs, right? Social media, scrolling, doom scrolling, whatever those things are. Because each person suffers with something different. And some of us have common things that we suffered with. But what's interesting is in the first life, those are the things that we would chase to get the quick fix. But there's a reason why you went to bed every single fucking day and you felt like a fucking idiot. There's a reason why. Because you weren't elevating as a person. You were chasing the chemical feeling instead of the fulfillment inside of you that you are making the most out of this body that God gave you. See, everyone just wants to, have some fun. Let's go have some fun. Let's go relax. But in the second life, what you start to realize is that the fun is derived from becoming a better man. You start to maneuver this game of life a little bit differently. Because see, in the first life, you would use all of the vices and the quick sources of dopamine in happiness. You would use those pleasures, those things to avoid working on the things that are actually going to make you better. You would use those things to mask the pain you have of being a fucking loser. I did. You may still be doing that to this day, brother. And some of you guys may have gotten past that point. But regardless, every single one of you guys watching this can take something away from this video. You can spread it to someone else who needs to hear it. Because this was the switch that I had last year, and it changed everything. Is because I realized that working on trying to get my fulfillment from the external things in this world is me trying to fill a void that can only be filled with myself internally. I was looking externally instead of internally. The fulfillment is derived from you fixing yourself from the inside out. That's how it works. And it starts with you fixing your habits, which are the foundation, because you once you make this switch, brother, you stop looking at all of the vices and of the quick fixes and the things that you used to find fun, the video games, playing video games all day, scrolling on social media all day, doing the drugs, doing the alcohol, going to stupid parties, all that shit that was just fun to you. You start to be repulsed by those things. That's what you'll notice. Because once you make the switch, you realize that your fun, what you find fun, changes from those old degenerate things into something with a greater purpose, which is you conforming to the identity of the best version of yourself through your habits. I mean, it's like when I started waking up at 3 a.m. every single day, taking a cold shower, doing my push-ups outside for Instagram, going to the gym, actually finally fucking consistently, which I never did. I only would go when I felt like it in the past. And actually taking action on my business every day. Once I started focusing on those things, and I stopped procrastinating and trying to replace them with the quick dopamine and the quick fixes, I started to find the hard things, right, as what's fun. Working on myself is what's fun. And that is a great feeling. Because once you start to find the personal development, the hard, difficult things as fun, instead of the cheap things, once you find those things fun, the personal development itself, that's when your life changes. Because you become obsessed with improving who you are as a person. All of the old things that you used to indulge in now become disgusting to you. They become disgusting because you know after you indulge in them, you're just going to feel empty afterwards. There's not going to be any substance to it. Because deep down, you know your conscience is the authentic voice of God. And you know deep down, after you do those things, that didn't make you any better. It didn't. I derive joy now from waking up every single day at 3 a.m. when my alarm goes off, and I'm like, fuck, I do not want to get up right now. I do not want to get up right now. But once I force myself to get through that first roadblock, that first obstacle, which instead of viewing as a hindrance to me becoming the best version of myself, which is the resistance I feel when I don't want to get out of bed, and instead I view it as an opportunity to elevate my frequency to get better, that's what gets me up out of bed. Because I know if I get up right now, I'm going to be the first one fucking up, and I have to be the best. And so I get up, and I elevate my frequency through peak physical performance. I go outside, I do the push-ups, and after that, it's just flowing momentum. I start to get into my routine. In the first 30 minutes of your day when you wake up, that sets the foundation for how your entire day will go. For those of you guys who are just waking up and getting on your fucking phone right away, scrolling on TikTok, you're just frying your dopamine in the morning. You know, it's become so normalized because everyone does it. But that, like, just scrolling like that is an insane amount of dopamine you're getting. I mean, what could be worse than that? Like, you getting up right away, scrolling, and then, like, hitting your nicotine. Like, dude, when you do that right in the beginning of the morning, right when you wake up, you're literally setting a threshold of dopamine that you can't match for the rest of the day. So the things that are difficult, that are going to make you a better person, going to the gym, pushing yourself to do hard things, those things that normally you would get dopamine from feel numb to you because you're frying yourself with the cheap, quick fix. And then you're stuck in this cycle of complacency that you can't get out of because actually working on yourself doesn't feel like anything to you. You have to learn, you have to have this feeling deep inside of you to want to become the greatest version of yourself. And that feeling that you feel, the fact that you're not actively working towards it, that pain that you feel, fuck, I'm not there. I'm going backwards. I just keep indulging in my bullshit habits. That feeling, that pain needs to be greater than the pain of change, the pain of you dropping your vices. And only then will you realize that you need to change your life. And that's the wake-up call. Every man is going to feel it at a different point in his life. I felt it in January of last year. I became so fucking sick of my habits. Of me just drifting, just being a drifter. I looked at in January of last year, I looked over the past few years of my life and over the past year when I actually decided, I want to start making some money in my life. I want to start building a good physique. I want to become important. And I looked over the past year of my life and I was like, I have not done shit. What have I done? I haven't been doing anything. I have all these dreams of accomplishments, but I've just lived in a complete state of inaction, which is just completely disgusting. How dare I desire achievement and take no action towards it? What the fuck are you doing, bro? You don't fucking want it. You don't want it. You just like the idea of it. You're just in love with the vision. Because if you actually wanted it, you would be convicted to get it through action. I'm just so fucking sick and tired of people saying they want things, saying they want the supercars and they want the dream life, they want the location and time freedom, they want the hot girl, blah blah, I want all this shit. But what are you doing when you wake up? Like the shit that I see you do, your habits are fucking. What are you doing? You just like the idea of those things. You just like the idea. Admit it, bro. Be all in or all out. You can't be in this fucking in-between middle spot, this stagnant spot. You're just if you're not growing, you're dying. You need to hold yourself to a higher standard every single day to elevate yourself in the personal development. Your habits need to set the standard for you. You'll never rise to your goals and ambitions. You'll never get good enough to afford the Lamborghini, to afford the mansion. You'll never get good enough to afford that. What's going to happen is your standards will be so high that those things enter your life. You'll never rise to your goals and ambitions. You'll always fall to your standards. And that is why you need to set your standards so damn high that even on your worst days, you're still moving forward. Even on the days when you don't want to get out of bed. You feel like the bed has chains on it. But you said you would get up at 4 a.m. And you have to force yourself to break out with everything in you. I know how it feels, bro. I do it every day. And I post it on Instagram to prove to you guys that I'm staying true to my word, to motivate you guys and to hold myself accountable. God, I mean, you guys just... The reason I'm so fucking passionate about this is because I wish I could have told myself these things when I was just sitting there like a dumbass a year and a half ago, dreaming about progress, but not actually doing anything to get it. It's so fucking simple. If you want progress, make progress. That's why I'm so passionate about this, is because I know there's one of you guys watching this right now has so much fucking potential, but you're not putting it to use. This is the one body you get. How blessed are you to be able to wake up every single day and push yourself to see how much you can do? This is the one body God gave you. And it is so disrespectful to God and to you, bro, to you, to not push yourself to see what your potential is. Why are you settling for less? You can be successful, bro. You have permission. I'm not even crazy successful yet. I'm 19 years old, and I'm trying to tell you guys this. My physique isn't even close to where I want it to be yet, but I work on it with relentless intention every single day. I bought one of my dream cars at 19, and this is only the beginning. And you guys, it's just like once I realized that I had permission to be successful, that I didn't need to wait for permission from anyone to be successful, that I could just go and take what's mine, take every personal victory that I want throughout the day and become closer to the best version of myself. I was like, this is so free. What am I doing? And I need you guys to realize that. You have permission to be successful, bro. No one's gonna come knock on your door one day and say, hey, bro, you're allowed to start trying now. You're allowed to be successful. Go ahead, you can start now. No one's gonna fucking do that. You have to decide within yourself that in this one life you have, you want to become someone important. You want to become someone valuable, and you don't want to die a fucking loser laying on your deathbed looking back at the past 80 years. I mean, if you even make it to that. Most people won't. That's unrealistic. Looking back at your whole life and being like, I wasted it, and now there's nothing I can do about it. That's gotta, like, I can't even conceive thinking about that. Like, that's gotta be one of the worst feelings in the world. And I am so glad to know I will never fucking feel that, because right now in this moment I have decided that I won't die. That I will either become exceptional or I will die trying. You have to come to that conclusion within yourself, bro. You have to tell yourself every single day, I just won't miss. I won't miss. Every single thing, every single bit of resistance that I encounter, I will view as a personal victory in that moment that I have to choose whether or not I will take or not. And if I take enough of those personal victories, those small victories throughout the day, I'll become a living victory. You have permission to be successful, bro. No one's going to come along and tell you it's time to start going. You're the only one that can save yourself. The only one. Think about the most successful people in this world right now. You know, I can think of like big names like Elon Musk, like people like that. People who have, you know, made something of themselves. People that have a name that people know. Someone that is successful in their field. Maybe you have like a different field you want to be successful in. Think of the top people in that field, right? Those people were not chosen. They're not the chosen ones. They chose themselves. You guys are looking everywhere else in the world to solve your problems, to make you important, instead of looking at yourself and realizing you're the one that needs to make that happen. And that seems so obvious, but 99% of people everywhere I go act like they're oblivious to it. Life is a mirror, not a window. The world is not as it is as you are. You need to become the source of what you seek. If you want to become the best version of yourself, have genuine freedom in this life, then you need to put in the daily actions that it takes to get there. It's not that hard. Like, bro, it's such a simple concept. It's not going to be easy. It's not easy, but it is very simple. And you just have to decide every time that you don't want to wake up when you said you would, that you don't want to go to the gym when you know you have to, that you don't want to sit down and do that work, that work session that you know you have to move the needle. Every time you get the temptation to eat shitty food, to give into your old vices, to start to go smoke, you have to decide in that moment that you're not going to start tomorrow. You're not going to start in a week. You have to decide in that moment to take the personal victory of staying true to your word. And if you do that enough times, you will become unstoppable. Unstoppable. I can't go back, bro. I cannot miss. I don't miss. Every single morning I'm up when I said I was going to. Every single day I say I'm going to go to the gym. I don't miss. I don't miss. Because I know there's so many people out there that are missing, and I have to stay ahead. I have to. I'm not going to let another man take my future from me. I'm going to go claim that shit. You have to want that, bro. And if you don't want that, if you're too tired, if you're too burnt out, I guess you just deserve to lose. Keep losing, bro. You're too tired, you had a hard day yesterday? That's okay. You can sleep in. I'm going to get up, though. I'm going to choose to win. But you deserve a break. It's your choice, bro. It's your choice. No one gives a fuck about your excuses. No one cares how unfortunate your situation is. No one cares what your sad story is. No one does, bro. I'm telling you right now. No one cares. Oh, my parents won't let me do this. No one gives a fuck. You're the only one that can make this happen. You're the only one that can make it happen, bro. Become successful first and then tell the story afterwards. All of this adversity that you guys feel on a day-to-day basis that's so fucking horrible, use that as fuel to propel into fucking excellence. Strive for perfection so that you can catch excellence, because no one's perfect. And once you've done that, you're going to be able to tell those stories with such conviction because you lived it. You guys can truly achieve whatever you want in this life. And it sounds so cliche, but it is just so damn true. But it starts when you decide that you want to make yourself worth it, that you want to make yourself worth that dream life. And you'll become worth it once you put in the work that gets you to that level of man. If you don't have success right now, you don't deserve it. You don't. If you deserved it, you'd have it. You need to make yourself worth it through the daily sacrifices and the daily habits and the things that you do every single day that are going to constantly keep propelling you forward. A huge mistake that a lot of you guys make, and I made this mistake too, for the longest fucking time, was we would try to sprint as fast as we could and make a ton of progress. I'm gonna wake up at this time every single day. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just go full ahead. Turn back on that light. And we try to sprint.
X band, K band, KA band, laser.
We try to sprint. I'm gonna go as fast as I can. I'm gonna go as fast as I can. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna beat everyone. And guess what happens? Guess what happens when you do that? After a week, you slip up. Oh man, I missed. I'm gonna get it again tomorrow. And then you go for another 3 days, and you start counting your streak. And then boom, you miss again. And then you go in again, another week, and then you miss. You're in this cycle of streaks, of sprinting, and then needing to catch your breath, and then sprinting again. When all you needed to do the whole time was just walk every single day. The big guys that you see that are just crushing it, you're trying as hard as you can, and then you're having to catch your breath, and you just see them walking way down there. You're like, how the fuck did they get that far? It's because they never quit. They stuck to the simple habits every single day. They didn't have a stagnant day. They didn't try to get really lucky and do some crazy shit. They just took action on what they know they had to do to move forward. And in the end, it accumulates. That's all you have to do, bro. It's not that hard. Just focus. Just ask yourself in your head right now, what do I want out of life right now? And you might not know. You might not be able to predict where you want to be 15 years from now. Okay, that's normal. But ask yourself right now, what do you want out of life? What do you picture your dream life? The life that you're living in, and you're just in a state of joy. Not happiness, joy, genuine fulfillment. And what is that man? What does that version of you do? How does he look? What does he look like? How does he speak? How does he carry himself? What are his daily habits? What time does he wake up? And start incorporating those traits into yourself so that you can form into the identity of that man. And if you stick to those things for a long enough time span, you will become that man. And the materialism that he indulges in will be attracted to you. It will become a byproduct of your personal development. You guys truly have so much potential. Every single one of you. But it's just a matter of, are you going to bring that potential to fruition? You have to make that decision within yourself, brother. Go fucking get it. Go crush it.